What's up, you guys? Back, Alan Bays. Appreciate it. And today we're going to talk about something extremely important and vital, and something that can benefit you and help you with your magic, as far as like having fun with it and gaining instant rapport with people. And that is using humor and comedy in magic. There's a lot of people that think magic may need like this serious undertone and make people like believe in magic and stuff, or whatever it is you're doing.
Well, first thing I would tell anybody is know who you are as a performer. Now, if your bit is I'm this serious, mystical, type guy, and you want to stay true to your performing style, okay, that's great. But if you want to go in, and keep in mind, for any professional performance, you have 30 to 60 seconds to win over your audience in the beginning. You either establish the rapport with them right from the beginning, or if not, you're doomed. And in most places, they have to like you from the beginning. So humor is the universal icebreaker. It's the greatest way to get somebody laughing, to like you as a person, to like what you're going to do. And anything beyond that point, they're just going to accept. They're going to want you to win. We talked about this earlier.
Right.
They're going to want you to be successful. Sometimes even to the point where if I walk up to a group of people and I want to do some magic, I may just say, "Hey, how's it going? I'm the magic dude." And just that statement alone, lets them know I'm not taking myself too seriously, and I'm here to have a good time. Let's have some fun.
Right.
When I do my hypnosis shows, there's many, many times at the beginning, before I even move into any hypnosis, that I'll start out with a magic trick. And it's a very special magic trick. It's a magic trick that's built in to be funny, and to get everybody in the audience laughing. And it's a little bit of a dual reality situation happening, but it's the card on the forehead.
Yeah.
Trick. And it's great. Now, that has absolutely nothing to do with hypnosis. And as a matter of fact, I make a point after the trick to make sure people do understand that. But I do it, as I say, usually I do this for my own entertainment. But it's for everybody's benefit. It's for everybody's entertainment. Everybody's laughing.
Right, exactly. And especially because like the trick is mainly for everyone watching. It's not even necessarily for the person doing it. And what it is basically you have someone, a spectator, pick a card, and when you do it, do you just kind of like do a pass, control it to the top somehow?
I'll usually just pass it. I'll do a control, pass it to the top.
So do a pass to the top, get it there.
Absolutely.
Then you palm it off, right?
I'll palm it off.
Something like that.
I'll palm it off. The participant that's up on stage with me is having an entirely different experience,
right,
than what the audience is seeing. Hence the dual reality. So it's basically a contest for us to find the card.
So basically, you have the card there, and you usually just like lick the back of the card.
Sometimes, but usually I'll moisten my forehead. Now, usually when you're up on stage, you're sweating a little bit. There's a little bit of moisture, and if you feel that on your forehead, you can just stick it to your forehead, and then it will stick and stay.
Oh yeah.
If I don't feel that,
it can stay there for minutes.
I've had it stay for a good solid 4 or 5 minutes in the past.
So they basically explain, like, you wouldn't do it necessarily right now, but I just want to demonstrate that it's there.
Sure.
But you go on to like it's a competition between you and the spectator one-on-one.
Absolutely. Basically what happens here is I've already taken the card, I've passed it to the top. I've explained to the participant what we're going to do is we're going to have a contest. So I'm going to have him stand to the right, I'll give him the deck of cards, and he's going to be racing through the cards to find his card before I do it. Now, as he's racing through the cards, I'm going to be reaching over, taking one card out at a time.
And so yeah, you're spreading through. I was just like, was it this card? And you hold it like this close to their eyes, so Absolutely. They're looking right at you, but because you're blocking their view, they can't see the card on your forehead. But what the audience sees, go ahead.
Absolutely. I'm giving them a moment of focused attention. I could have a pink elephant on my head. They're never going to notice it. This is their focused attention. That's where they're going to look. If they focus a little bit too long, I will redirect them and say, you better keep going. Let them continue to race through the cards.
What was that?
I'll be pulling it out. Is that your card? Is that your card?
Dropping them as they go along.
I'll give them forced perspective twice. Mm-hmm. Only 2 times. I don't want to overdo it.
Okay.
Only twice. And then I'll just allow them to continue to run through the cards. And eventually I'll just be sitting there staring at them. And of course the audience is seeing something completely different. The audience is seeing the card on my forehead the entire time. Eventually they're going to look up once they realize I'm not talking anymore, or they're not finding the card. They might have dropped the cards on the floor. Sometimes I might say, maybe I dropped it. They're down there looking for it again. Eventually they're going to look up, spot the card on the forehead.
Right.
It's a hysterical moment. It's funny for the entire audience through the whole duration of the effect, whereas the participant, it's a competition. Up
To
until
them,
the very
to
end.
them, it also almost seems like that the card disappeared from the deck.
Absolutely.
It's just like, well,
it's a
where did it
magical
go?
moment for him.
Oh, yeah.
How did it get there? The audience sees something different. They know you stuck it right on their forehead. They watched you do it.
Right.
So you have a dual reality that's happening there. But the whole point of this, why would you do this in a hypnosis show? What's the point? And the whole point is, I want to establish my credentials from the beginning. I want to be funny. I want to get everybody laughing. I want everybody to enjoy what they're doing. We're not taking this too seriously. And once you open the doors that way,
Set the stage that you are in charge of the stage.
absolutely.
You are in control.
Absolutely, and I'm here to have a good time with you.
Right,
And-
absolutely.
And later on in the show, when I hit more points of seriousness, it's accepted because they've already accepted me or you as a performer, and you've already built that rapport. They like you from the beginning, and when they like you, they're on your side. And when they're on your side, you're going to have a great show.
You're going to have a great show. It's going to be a lot easier to perform. You're in this relaxed state. Everyone is on your side. They want to see you win. They're not out to get you anymore. You've completely disarmed them. And hopefully, if there were any tough cookies or hecklers in the crowd, hopefully by this time, just like I said, they are disarmed. So you can relax a little bit, breathe easier. Just have fun, keep a smile on your face. Like some of the things that I do, that I've seen people do, I grew up doing, is I'll have someone take a card. They take one. It's just like kind of lead into the ambitious card. Just like, all right, you got that one memorized? Watch. Put your hands out like this. Watch. Watch for the secret move. It's very subtle. You see it? It's very subtle. It's hard to see. Not only did I make your card jump to the top, but I changed it into the Queen of Diamonds. And that's just something funny that I do. Or you could actually have them put it in the middle, pass it to the top, do that silly secret move, and it does actually jump to the top. And that's like the comedy, something funny that I do.
Sure. The very first thing I would say is know your audience. You're going to have to gauge your audience to know what's going to be appropriate to say at that time in situation. Prime example, if I'm in a nightclub setting or a bar setting and I've got my focus on a specific girl that I really want to impress or get to know a little bit better, I have my lines, I have my little things that I'll say, and I'll get an example. If I have them select a card and I say, hey, I want you to sit on the card, and put it a little bit more towards the back. I only want to get it warm, not wet. Okay, now
It's a little tongue-in-cheek thing.
Now that's a little crude, right? That's a little harsh, but it works every time. And if you know your audience well, it's going to be well received, and they're not going to be taking themselves or you or the situation so seriously. You've broke the ice. They're laughing. They're having a good time, and that's important. You want to establish right from the beginning, we're here to have a good time.
Right.
I'm on your side. Let's do some great things. My favorite line in the world is something that sounds so simple, but it's to walk up and just say, hi, my name is Alan, what's yours? That's the greatest opening line. So many guys I've heard come up with these crazy pickup lines that they have when they've heard it all before. And
Right.
you're another cookie cutter guy that's coming into the place. How about have some confidence? Hey, this is who I am. Who are you? I want to know a little bit about you.
Right.
You'll exude confidence. People will respond to that. People want to be around successful people. They want to be around powerful people. They want to be around confident people. A lot of people out there are followers. They want somebody to lead them.
Right. Exactly. If you have a heckler, you have someone that's just being a douchebag, it's in the right environment. Are there any like funny one-liners that you say? I know that you incorporate like strength and power and like intimidation into your shows, but is there anything that you say to disarm them that kind of just puts you in the place of like, hey, I'm the one in power, I'm the one in charge, like, or anything like that in that manner? I'm sure there's smarter methods than that because you don't want to turn the audience against you. You want to turn them against the other person, but tackle into that idea.
That's absolutely right. You have to walk a very fine line when it comes to that situation, because as much work as you put into the beginning of being likable and being accepted, if you attack somebody that's out there that's heckling you, giving you a hard time, you can instantly go back and revert and become the bad guy. And that's what you don't want. So if you got a heckler in the audience, and there's different ways to handle them. Sometimes I'll just do something as simple as saying, hey, you out there, would you mind not doing that? The rest of the audience is trying to enjoy the show. That's going to put him in the spotlight. It's going to put him in a very uncomfortable position, because the rest of the audience is going to say, yeah, you're right. We are here to have a good time. And
Right.
You're ruining it. Knock it off. It might be that. Sometimes I'll get a know-it-all that says, I know how that trick's done, and I'll invite him on the stage. You know,
No,
I'll
challenging the
I'll go
spectator.
take your seat and have at it, man. You can have the stage, do your show. You know, that's fine too. That'll shut them up pretty quickly. You know, but you want to be professional. You want to be polite, and you want the audience to be on your side. And once they're on your side, they'll take care of the hecklers themselves. You don't have to worry about it.
Right. And especially if you were to like everyone has that, like if there are hecklers out there, usually what will happen is if you have enough people around you, they'll ignore it. They won't even like notice the heckler. It's just like, oh, he had a double lip, but no one hears that. Just like the nobody, this is the person next to him.
Sure.
And they don't even care about that. So usually I'll just like ignore them. But if you do kind of call them out and be like, hey, could you just suspend your disbelief and just enjoy the show like everyone else, now everyone is just like, oh, wait a minute, there is someone here trying to like ruin it. Like if I get the opportunity to shut him up, then I'm gonna take it. So that kind of gives your other audience an initiative of power that they could take to kind of get rid of this negativity amongst the audience.
Sure. You know, there's different lines. You know, you can tell them, hey, what time's your show on?
Right.
You know, that's one thing. If I'm in a different environment, I might say, hey, pal, you can hold the monkey, or you can hold the tail, but I'm screwing this monkey.
Right.
You know, any little thing that's going to get somebody laughing and on your side. And sometimes you have to understand what's the dynamic. Why are they outbursting? You know, why are they saying these things? You know, and they want attention. That's really, really what it comes down to. And you get some people out there that have their own inferiority complexes. They want to be the know-it-all. They might be with their girlfriend, and they doesn't want their girlfriend to think, he's doing his magic, I really know what he's doing. Because now it's a machismo contest. I mean, what you're doing is unzipping and flopping on the table and finding out who's more well-equipped, right? That's really what it comes down to.
Right, exactly.
You know, when it comes down to these people. So sometimes you just have to give them their moment in the spotlight, and they'll shut up and go away. You know, other times it might take a little more forceful action. Sometimes it'll require no action at all. Like you were saying earlier, who cares if 2 people might have heard what he said? 99.8% of the rest of the audience will be totally oblivious to it.
Right. And what I was also saying, like over dinner, we were talking about how another way to disarm someone is to agree with them and misinterpret it as a compliment. So if someone saying something like something about your show, you're just like, yeah, man, absolutely. I'm glad you're enjoying it. And then he'll be kind of disarmed. When you're on the stage and when you're performing, you're in a constant source of the need to improvise. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong.
But you can't let anything shake you.
Right.
You know, once your stride is broken by somebody.
People can see that you are not in that position of power, you're out of your comfort zone.
That's right.
They are disillusioned.
There's some books out there. As a matter of fact, I remember some books that Aldo Colombini put out as far as 1001 one-liners or something along those lines that have a really good collection of all kinds of one-liners. And the secret there is to go through and find the ones that will fit your performing dynamic, who you are as a performer. Just remember, try not to get too offensive, you know, with the things that you say. But depending, if you're in a comedy club, hey, have at it. You know, they're used to blue material. Go after them. You're going to create your own lines as time goes on. You know, when somebody's going to say something in the audience, you're going to think, oh, that's brilliant. That's funny. There may be situations that occur that you want to recreate in later shows simply because it was so funny.
Right. There's plenty of times where someone will be like, hey, can I tell you what you did? Or I know how you did that. And let me tell you how you did that. And it's just like, hey, man, I've seen the trick. Like, I know how it works. You don't need to tell me how it works.
Once you're confident, here's a great thing for everybody to know. The more confident you are as a performer, the less likely you are going to have somebody that wants to heckle you. People at a comedy club, if a performer, you know, if a comedian gets up there that's really confident, nobody's going to want to heckle him because you know what? The gloves are coming off and we're going to duke it out. I'm a professional comedian. You want to take me on? I'm going to shred you.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and it's the same thing for a magician. You know, you have to go out there and know your stuff. And sometimes it's just a look when you look at that guy. You know, sometimes it's just you really want to go down this path? You know, and a look alone can do it. You know,
it's interesting. But what is, as far as comedy and the benefit that it does in coming back, what it all relates back to is rapport, building rapport with people, and this goes outside of the whole realm of magic. And you don't have to do magic to build rapport with people. You can use humor. Magic is a great benefactor in it, but when you're meeting anyone, business, friendship, rapport is the biggest thing you need to focus on. And comedy has a big factor to do with that.
Absolutely. Comedy is the universal language. When people laugh, laughter is contagious.
Oh, yeah.
And once you have people laughing with you, you've befriended them. You know, they want to be around you. It's just it's a great dynamic. Me, for a prime example, I mean, I'm here when I'm wearing the hat, but normally when I'm doing my performing and I'm up on stage, I have a shaved head, I have a goatee usually. I mean, I look like a big scary guy. Who's this big guy?
And that's how you portray yourself as like right off the bat.
Absolutely.
But then you do the cut of the forehead, and now it's just like, oh,
absolutely. You know, and it's my tagline from it is hypnosis with a lot of muscle. Now, of course, that's not necessarily talking about me, but it's the hypnosis with a lot of muscle. It's an image. I'm letting them know that from the beginning, but I also have to establish right from the beginning, I'm not taking myself so seriously.
Right.
You know, whether it be the card on the forehead, this is this magic trick that goes into, by the way, I'm not the only one that has done that. You know, there's other people out there that perform that. It's just a great performing piece.
Kind of opener. Set the mood of your show, of who you are with your first effect. You need to set the mood of who you are, whether you're funny, whether you be taken seriously, whether you out there, whether it's like mentalism or just like pure magic. But that first impression, that's your chance to set the mood for how you want people to perceive you as. So you need to definitely take that into account as far as like building that instant rapport with them.
Absolutely. And prior to my mentalism or stage show, a thing just to put it into context for you that I used to do is right when the show would begin, the spotlight would hit, I would appear in the spotlight in front of a podium, looking as seriously as I can look. And I would pick up a phone book. And I would take the phone book and I would proceed to tear the entire phone book in half. Then I would tear the other half in half again.
Oh my God.
So it appears that it's a demonstration of strength. What is this guy about? When I finally get it torn down to a stack of sheets, I'll open it up and you'll see a string of little paper characters in like dresses and such. Okay. And it's just the silliest thing, but what it does...
You got the serious look on your face.
I've transitioned from this guy that's taking things and trying to show you his strength to this little stupid thing at the end that establishes right from the beginning that I'm not taking myself so seriously.
That's fun.
You shouldn't either. Let's have a good time.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for coming out. I hope that I definitely learned some stuff, and I'll be... hope you guys learn some stuff too as far as incorporating humor into it. A lot of people say look at the David Blaine aspect of it, and David Blaine takes himself very seriously versus Daniel Garcia. You got this very serious magician, you got this very uses comedy to his, and even Penn and Teller, same kind of methods, but just know who you are as a performer, like you were saying, and establish yourself, what you want, and then go out and exude that. And other than that, we're gonna have Alan back. He's got his own website, Alan Bays, Powerful Hypnotism with Muscle. Thank you for coming on the show.
Always a pleasure.
Appreciate it. Be inspired to learn, inspired to disturb, and always rise above.